Like everything associated with the National Football League, the Combine has gone from some scouts watching guys run the 40 to a spectacle. Todd McShay joins us from the Combine, and I'm curious, Todd, a specific prospect that you are most interested to find out a little bit more about at the Combine this year.
I'll go with Ole Miss defensive tackle Robert Nkemdiche, and it really isn't about what we're going to find out on the field. You know, you'd like to be able to look at the 40-yard dash and the vertical jump and get some answers. With Nkemdiche, I legitimately, Scott, think he's one of the top 5 football players in this draft. I mean, yeah, his sack production's down, and he's not getting as many tackles for loss, but he's double and triple teamed all the time. He's physical, he's tough, he's nasty, he's exactly what you want in terms of a defensive lineman, and has versatility. But the problem is he's got a lot of off-the-field issues and concerns in terms of his personality and character and all the things that you worry about when you're investing somewhere between, let's say, $17 and $25 million. So what comes out from the interviews? What kind of information do we get from the psychological testing? Really intrigued to find out when I talk to scouts and some different decision makers when I talk to them 3-4 days from now.
Just a quick yes, no. Do you think he can put those questions to bed?
No, I doubt it. I really do.
Okay, well, that's going to be something everybody's going to be keeping an eye on, because obviously his talent jumps off the screen at you. But as you point out, that's not the question. Mm-hmm. Christian Hackenberg spoke today, and how complete a picture, Todd, can we have of this quarterback given the struggles that his offensive line had in front of him the past couple of seasons?
It's as bad as you thought on TV. You know what I mean? Sometimes you watch the tape and it doesn't really match up, and you say, well, you know, people are making excuses for him. It was really bad, Scott. I mean, the offensive line consistently forced him to get the ball out before he should have. It threw off the timing of the whole offense. Receivers didn't make plays when they should. Receivers weren't in the right place when he did get the ball out earlier than he should have and put it in spots. Now, when I watch Hackenberg, I see the size, the arm strength, and there are throws when you say, man, this guy's got it. He can do it. He anticipates. He throws the spots. But then there are way too many throws where he does have enough time and the receiver is where he's supposed to be, and he just misses the target. So I wonder if he gets with, whether it's Bill O'Brien or an organization that can develop quarterbacks, and gets to sit down and just take a deep breath and regain his confidence, will he be able to get back to the player that we started to see his freshman year with Bill O'Brien as his head coach at Penn State? Or has his confidence just been shaken and he's not as accurate as we thought maybe he could get to be at this point in his career?
Yeah, a lot of folks connecting those dots. You point out he played for OB his freshman year at Penn State, and obviously they've got a needed quarterback. Speaking of, Carson, he played in the playoff on the D1, as we used to call it, level. He would be much more a household name, but it was at North Dakota State, where all they do is win titles. What do you like most about what this quarterback does?
Yeah, I was a little skeptical when I went into the tape study because, you know, this program at North Dakota State, all they do is win national championships. So it's not that big of a deal that the next quarterback up is winning national championships. 20-3, he won 2 national titles. But the more I studied of him, the more I appreciated what he brought to the table. He's got size. He checked in at 6'5". Quarterback position like a linebacker. He's physical. He's aggressive. He's, you know, if he makes a mistake, it's usually because he's trying to make a play. And he's not as natural in terms of the pure passing as Jared Goff, the Cal quarterback, who he's really in competition with to be accurate. And I think he's reaching a level that is good. And I think with a little bit of time to develop, he's got a chance to be a good starter in the league. I think if it can be true, he's a little underrated. I think people are second-guessing him a little too much at this point.
Final thought, and that we've got time between now and the draft, but it appears at first blush to me this is a line of scrimmage draft, not a fantasy football draft. There aren't as many skill guys that we're going to fall in love with. Is that your thought?
Yeah, it's dead on. It's well put and dead on. The offensive line players are good. The defensive line, we have a chance to have one of the great all-time defensive line drafts, and specifically at defensive tackle. I mean, we talked about Nkemdiche from Ole Miss. You've got A'Shawn Robinson and Jerron Reed, both potential top 20 picks from Alabama. Vernon Butler, I put in the tape the other day, Vernon Butler from Louisiana Tech. He's like 6'4", 230, or 330 plus, and he's running around like he's a 290-pound defensive lineman. Chris Jones from Mississippi State might be the most physically gifted of all of them, and we're talking about him late first, early second, because he's a late bloomer and still learning the position. 16 defensive tackles in our top 100 overall. So teams looking to follow that line of Carolina and Denver and the way those teams were built, there's plenty of options this year at that interior defensive line, and really throughout the front seven on the defensive side.
Go light on the cocktail sauce at St. Elmo's. Rosillo and Stanford Steve tricked me, took a big bite. I nearly ended up in the intensive care, so that was a rookie mistake.
That happened to me 5 years ago, and I haven't been back since. I'm scarred.
Be well, be safe. Thanks for the time, brother.